I get a draft? All right, I'm going to still answer questions here, TikTok, so keep them coming in. The draft has started. Remember, this is a Superflex draft. Superflex 12 teams. So quarterbacks matter in this one if you want to take one early. If not, you good. When's the 12-hour stream? Next month. Next month, homie. We're going to have some fun next month. I promise. What round's Olave going in? He's going in the 12th round right now, but I'm not really big on Olave. 12th round. The second round right now, but I'm not really big on Olave. Noah, what's good, bro? He said, thoughts on Aaron Jones? I think Aaron Jones will be a good value this year going outside the top 15 backs. He's kind of risky. He's been like somewhat injury prone. He'll miss like 3 to 4 games a year, but I still think he can have value with the Vikings as long as Sam Darnold is the quarterback. The only thing you have to worry about is like shutdown potential, right? End of the season, the Vikings aren't a good team. JJ McCarthy comes in. Now you kind of got to worry about like, will they shut down some of their major players? But he's on a 1-year deal. He's got to prove it. Jaden Daniels' thoughts. I love Jaden Daniels this year. I think Jaden Daniels could be like top 5 to 10 quarterback this year. Who you like more, Tony Pollard or Najee? This season, I like Tony Pollard a little bit more because the pass catching upside. And I think that offense is going to move down the field really quickly. The Titans are giving me major like Tampa Bay Bucks of last year vibes with like Rashad White, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Baker, all being underrated. I kind of feel like that's going to be like Will Levis, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. It's going to be like one of those situations, in my opinion. Steelers could be like that too. It's just Najee ain't catching a whole lot of passes this year. That's all. That's all. Thoughts on Pollard and Spears? 1A, 1B. I think either week we could see one of them be good. I think Pollard has more upside than Spears. Spears is probably the safer out of the two. Appreciate all the follows and the likes, guys. If y'all run this thing up, man, I appreciate you guys. Tap that like button. It is my pick right now. And I forgot to turn the sound off on this, didn't I? 1 and 2. There we go. All right, let's see who we got right here. Who's left for me? JT, 12 team, Superflex. Who got receiver wise? Yeah, I'm grabbing Saquon here. Saquon and Taylor it is. 12 team Superflex came out of the first 2 rounds with Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley. I ain't too mad at that. At the 4th spot. Ain't too mad at that. Only 2 quarterbacks have gone in this draft. What are your thoughts on Yeezy? Random, right? I don't wear no Yeezys. I don't have a pair of Yeezys. Shout out to Kanye though, but I ain't got no pair of Yeezys. I got regular shoes. Would you rather have the 9 or the 13 in the mock draft? What do you mean the 9 or the 13? 9 or the 12? I don't really care. I'll most of the time I get the players I want. So draft spot don't really matter to me, to be honest. I had to pick one. I picked the 9 spot. How you feel about Trey McBride and Dynasty Superflex? I love Trey McBride. I think Trey McBride, we saw what he was towards the end of the last year with Kyler. Like, he has a connection with them, and I think everybody's just assuming Marvin Harrison's going to be the guy that, like, takes over. He will, but Trey McBride is still going to have a role in this offense. So I just don't like the fact that he's going in, like, the 4th round. It's a little early for me to get tight end when there's so many tight ends this year. I thought I turned off the sound, bro. Did that work? I just heard it again. I was trying to turn off the sound this time. Thoughts on Drake London? I got a Drake London video coming out a little bit later today. So I love Drake London this year. Who do you think is the Steelers wide receiver 2? Probably Roman Wilson. It's going to be tough, though, because Arthur Smith's probably going to have those guys rotating. Van Jefferson's on the team. I think still got Calvin Austin. So I want to say, was it Cordell Patterson's there now? So they have options there within that offense. I think it'll be Roman Wilson. He just has to earn it. So he's kind of a risky play. I don't think he'll be worth drafting, though. No number 2 in that offense is going to be worth drafting. I don't think people know this is super flex. I do. I just don't think everybody drafts this. I think last year exposed a lot of people, right? Like, a lot of analysts were like, you have to go quarterback in the first round of super flex. You have to. It's like people adjust, especially people here on this channel. We adjust, right? It's like, and I'm glad for that, man. Like, it means what we talk about works, because last year when I did these super flex drafts, it was all quarterbacks at the top. And I'm like, you can find a ton of value later on. And we found guys like Jordan Love. We found guys like Dak was even going later. You could get Brock Purdy last year, Baker Mayfield. Quarterbacks, there's a lot of quarterbacks. And in Superflex, you don't have to go with the guys early just because they're the names or because they say so. It's like, trust me, it's just like when people were like, oh, you have to go 2 RBs. Like, no, you don't. You can find ways to win. You can find ways to win. You don't got to subscribe to any draft pundits. You have to do this position-wise. Get the best available talent. The player you think is the best at the position. That's how I always – every draft is so different. You can't go into a draft saying, I have to go with position. It doesn't make sense. Thoughts on Cooper Kupp? I'm expecting to bounce back in a major way. Major way. Thoughts on Amon-Ra at 5? I don't mind Amon-Ra at 5. Depends on who's gone, though. Like, I think he goes after Lamb Hill, Chase, or Lamb Hill, Jettas, and C-Mac. And then I think if you want to take either him or Chase, I'm not mad at it. Either one. I'd rather have St. Brown for the floor. Thoughts on Jacobs? I actually dropped a video on Josh Jacobs. I think he'll be a solid back-end RB1, high-end RB2. Lord bless you. Bless Justin with $10,000 this weekend. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll take it. I'll take 10K. Shit. When are QBs supposed to go in Superflex draft? So you want to go a little earlier with quarterbacks because you don't want to get caught without one. In a 12-team, think about this. In a 12-team league, right, there's 24 starting quarterbacks that you can have available. But you don't have to start a quarterback. If you have another talented player that can fit a flex role, you could start them if you needed to. You want to ideally start 2 quarterbacks, though. Like, that's the perfect scenario. Don't think that you have to reach on quarterback just because of that, though. Like, you still want to approach value. And as we saw last year, there's a lot of quarterbacks that can be startable in Superflex. So if this was a league where, like, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Anthony Richardson were the only outliers, and there's no other quarterbacks that could be close, then maybe you take those guys earlier. But I think subscribing to the model of you have to take a quarterback in the first round, that's for those people who take the quarterback in the first round and they want everybody else to follow suit. That's really all that comes down to. So I'm all grab the best available player. You want to grab your quarterbacks earlier than later. If you find value in the second, third round, take it. If you find value in the first round, take a quarterback, right? You want to at least have one stud quarterback. You don't want to leave out with 2 question marks. But yeah, I'm find the best available talent you can. And if there's good value, I'm not going to just take a quarterback just because I have to. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Decades of proof, and folks still don't realize that NCAA is a different sport than NFL. I don't even get what you're talking about, bro. I literally don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Well, round you taking Caleb Williams? I'm probably not taking Caleb Williams this year. I think he's a good player, but it's playing in Chicago doesn't like you just don't throw quarterbacks don't throw for 4,000 yards in Chicago, and he's not like he might run a little bit, but he's not like a running quarterback, $1,000 shoe, left pocket got blues in it. I don't know what to do with it. He running the damn mouth. Mr. Pie Scraper. All right, so I got Debo Samuel and let's go with Pitman here. Debo Samuel and Pitman. Oh, I got fucking Taylor. Who's your biggest sleeper this year? Biggest sleeper pick this year. If I'm diving deep in my bag, I really, really like Rashad Bateman this year. And if I'm not deep in my bag, if I'm just thinking like potential sleepers, I think can outplay their ADP. I've talked about like Calvin Ridley being like a really good sleeper pick this year. Everybody's fading him off of what he did last year. Signed a 4-year deal with the Titans, and Will Levis obviously is going to be playing a lot better this year. Coaching scheme is ready for him to be improved. You got Brian Callahan from Cincy. So, he said he's going to give him the Jamar Chase treatment. Let's see. And I'll take that value in like the 5th, 6th round where he's going right now. This is a guy that has a former guy we thought was top 5, right? Top 5, 10 wide receiver. We drafted him last year as a top 12 guy. And now what? He's outside of the top 30 receivers? Doesn't make sense to me. You believe Kupp outperforms Puka? I think they're very similar. I like Kupp's draft spot way more than I like Puka's draft spot. Way more. Start, bench, cut, vodka, Hennessy, Jack Daniels. Vodka's going to go to the end, even though it's like the most, I think that's the easiest one for me, like vodka cran, vodka soda. But I think for what it is, Hennessy's probably start, Jack Daniels, bench, vodka cut. All good options. Actually, I haven't had a drink in over 2 months. Trying to stay a little cleaner, man. A little cleaner, keep my mind sharp. I ain't had a drink in over 2 months now. If you had the 10th pick in a 10-team full PPR, would you rather have AJ Brown, JT, or Saquon or Gibbs, or JT and Saquon? What? To me, I'd probably rather have Saquon and JT personally, but AJ Brown's not bad. AJ Brown and JT or AJ Brown and Saquon, it don't really matter. I mean, you're kind of stacked. It's just how are you adjusting throughout your draft? I like all those options. The top of if nobody tells you anyone otherwise, let me tell you. The top of your draft does not matter as much as you think it does. It doesn't. Work through the season, add drops, your trades. That shit matters more than anything. Get to the fantasy playoffs, have a lineup with high upside in the fantasy playoffs, and then let the rest do the work, bruh. Let the rest do the work. You want to stack high upside options with high floor. I know it sounds weird to say. Of course, you want high floor, high upside guys. You want star players. And then in the fantasy playoffs, you want players at the bottom of your roster that have chances to be starters. Like, fantasy is not as hard as we try to make it out to be sometimes. It's finding like the elite player, the next guy. And that's why I never understood drafting a whole bunch of rookies. Like, yeah, sometimes they outperform their ADP, but a lot of times, most rookies don't hit immediately. Like JSN last year, Quinn Johnson last year, right? Like we were thinking, oh, those guys would hit. Even you think about like Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers. Would you guys say they were good or bad? Most of you guys be like, man, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, they played well last year. Those guys were like wide receiver threes, So I don't like always banking on. I like banking on talent that I know can perform. That's why Calvin Ridley to me is such a value in the 6th round, wherever round he's going, 5th or 6th round. Trey McBride or Bowers? Give me Trey McBride over Bowers. Bowers needs Devontae to leave before he takes off. Mike Evans going off again. Of course he is. Shout out to whoever's running it up right now. I see somebody running it up. Best card you pulled this year? I actually haven't opened up any cards. Oh, that's a lie. I gave him to my son. My son got a Wemby. So I don't know if that counts. Wemby rookie. In a keeper league, I can keep 2. Henry, Puka, Evans, Jacobs. Who should I keep? Henry, Puka, Jacobs, Evans. Who should I keep? I think you got to keep Puka just for the way he's playing right now. You got to keep him. And then I probably would keep Evans too. Evans and Puka. Evans and Puka. Evans and Puka. Top 5 rookie wide receivers for Dynasty. I'll have that coming later. Rankings are all coming next month. Any chance Zach Moss could be the next Raheem Mostert? I don't know about Raheem Mostert. I talked about this last time. We got to be careful looking for the next. Sometimes there's, anomalies for each season. But I do think Zach Moss can be productive. The only thing is he has Chase Brown in that backfield too. I think it'll be a committee. They've always kind of ran a committee under Zach Taylor, right? You got Samaje Perine, Chase Brown even last year. I kind of think it'll be a committee. People are forgetting Kupp is the wide receiver 1. I still like Cooper Kupp. I don't know if he's the 1, but it's definitely not like a 1 and 2. I think it's more of a split. Like I think it's 1A, 1B. And I think you're going to flip-flop week to week who's who. What's up, Jay-Han? When your draft kit dropping? Next month, man. Next month. It'll be in the Patreon. The Patreon's free right now. You can find it in my bio. It'll be behind there, though, this year. And I'll probably have it free for a long time, so I just want to get people there first, and then we can work the rest out. I'll do a lot of free shit there. But like the bets and stuff, especially like the bets or like stuff that takes me a lot of time, I'm probably going to have behind the paywall this year. Unfortunately, guys. I know I tried it for 2 years, y'all. 3 years, actually. 3 years. I gave y'all a lot of my time for free. So we're going to do a little. I'm not going to charge a whole lot, but it's going to be a little bit this year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like a Chipotle burrito. Like a Chipotle burrito a month. Oh, it's my turn? My turn. Let's see where we at. I am definitely going to grab a QB right here. I think this is a good round to do it. It's when the talent starts to drop off. I'll take a Brock Purdy here. I grab Brock Purdy a lot. Maybe I need to talk up Brock Purdy because I've been grabbing a lot of Brock Purdy at the value this year. And it's gonna sound like some Homer shit, but I've been grabbing a lot. I've been grabbing too much Brock Purdy to not talk about it. Pause. Let's see. And then all right, I'll see a couple of those I like down there later. And then at receiver, I'm gonna take. Let's go to Amari again. How y'all feel? How y'all like the squad right now? Jonathan Taylor, Saquon, Debo, Michael Pittman, Purdy, and Cooper. Y'all feeling that? Y'all feeling that? What round are you comfortable drafting Jordan Love? I think Jordan Love, as long as he's going in the top 10 quarterbacks, like don't reach for him, the player. Just look at where all the rest of the quarterbacks are being drafted. Like you got to whoever got him here after Dak Prescott, that's good. So I don't mind getting him at the value he is currently. Early MVP pick for next year, NBA and NFL. MVP for NFL. I think Stroud's going to contend for it. I think we'll get like, obviously Mahomes will be up there. Lamar will be up there again. Josh Allen will be up there. That's a good question. I'm not ready for MVP yet. I'm not ready for MVP. I haven't thought enough about it. I haven't thought enough about it yet. I'll get something ready for you though. NFL MVP. Give me Brock Purdy MVP. Give me Brock Purdy MVP. I haven't thought about it yet enough yet. That's a good question though. Only reason Caleb might struggle is the O-line still behind Albert. Yeah, he has the weapons. O-line's bad. Plays in kind of a, you know what I mean? Like Chicago is not a great place for quarterbacks. So I think there's a few reasons he might struggle. And he's a rookie too. Like everybody expects rookies to just come in and be elite. That typically isn't how it is. AJ Brown and Gibbs stack would be nasty. Upside wise, yes. There's been a lot of hype about AJ Brown. In somebody brought it up yesterday. Kellen Moore's offense. I kind of was sleeping on the fact that Kellen Moore is going to change this offense a little bit. AJ Brown might be actually a really good pick there. You think Dak is going to get 60 million? He might get what Trevor Lawrence just got, that 55, but I don't know if he holds out and Dallas don't want to. I think somebody will give him 60 or 55, whatever that range is. Somebody's going to give him max value. Achane or Jacobs? I prefer Josh Jacobs. I think Achane's a little bit more risky. Also, the number 2 right now behind Mostert, whereas Jacobs is the clear starter, in my opinion. Noah, thoughts on Christian Watson? I think Christian Watson has a lot of upside, but in that offense, it's scattered, right? You got Jaden Reed, you got Romeo Doubs, you got Dontavian Wicks. So it's kind of scattered for me, and I think we'll see spike production out of Christian Watson maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Other times we'll see some down weeks. Whoever's running up these likes, bro, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let me catch up here on TikTok for a minute since y'all running up these damn likes. True fan of JSN for Dynasty, but would sell for the right price. What do you think he's worth? He's worth at least a 25 first. Or you got to get like get in an elite player now. Get like a win now player. Otherwise, just hold. Keeper League 12 man. You can keep Henry, Puka, Jacobs, or Evans. I think I just answered that one. I fuck with the takes, boss. Fantasy BDM, appreciate you, homie. In your leagues, are guys ever hesitant to trade with you given your pedigree? Yes and no. I think they just want to make sure that they win the trade. They want it to feel like they won the trade on paper, which is fine for me because a lot of times I feel like I can make up value. So in trades, I think most people want to just make sure that they don't look bad on the group chat. And I'm more focused on like winning my league. So I don't mind giving up like extra bench pieces to make it look like they won a deal. And then just picking up players who I think are comparable. Most of the time on the waiver wire, you have somebody that you've been wanting to pick up anyway, or that has potential to be a replacement for a player that you're making a deal. So most of the time, I tend to give up. I tend to lose the trade in efforts to try to win my league. That's typically how I trade. And it comes off as like, I know I gave up more and you probably got over on me, but I'll get the player that I'm trying to get. Happy Friday, Mr. Harris. How you living, dog? How you living? Who's on your team? Team is Jonathan Taylor, Barkley, Debo Samuel, Michael Pittman, Brock Purdy, and Amari Cooper in a Superflex league right now. So there's some good teams. If you want to see all the teams, they're on YouTube. Yeah, they're on YouTube. If you want to see all the teams, they're on YouTube. I'm a Niner fan. Said CJ Stroud, CMC MVP, maybe. Purdy, maybe. A Rashad White player for this year. Yeah, I don't have like a. Who's my Rashad White player for this? I keep talking up like that Titans backfield, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. I kind of like Javonte, but that whole coach speak with Sean Payton got me worried. Sleeper is Mark Andrews in the 6th. Hell nah. Start bench cut Kirk, Godwin, Ridley. Kirk, Godwin, and Ridley. I'll go Ridley, Godwin, and Kirk. Ridley for the upside, Godwin for the floor. Kirk is there too. Kirk is right there with Godwin. Cooper's underrated this year. I agree. Swift is going to be a big guy for Caleb. Yeah, any of the safety valves, Swift, Keenan, they're going to be good. Rate my team at the end. I'll rate teams at the end. Gotta explain that Debo pick. I think he's too injury prone. Niners trying to sell. Okay, I'll explain Debo. So Debo last season was a top 15 guy, and he had kind of a slow start last year. And to call him injury prone, he was only injured for a little bit last year. So I mean, we've seen Debo in healthy years he looks elite. And so me personally, in the end of the 3rd round in the 12-team league, he was the last like elite guy in my opinion. I didn't want to reach on a Nico Collins or Keenan Allen or DJ Moore. I'll take the floor with Debo Samuel and be very happy right there. So that's why I took Debo right there. And I don't see the issue with it. Maybe you can tell me what you were thinking as far as like why you didn't think it was a good pick. Oh, and somebody asked me a question about potential Rashad Whites. Zamir White's a potential Rashad White player for this year. Yeah. I'm gonna take Jordan Addison here. Jordan Addison's been slipping a lot lately too. I should have did one other thing. Does AD Mitchell complement or eat into MPJ's numbers? I think he complements. AD Mitchell's a little bit later on. I don't think that happens this year. You win your league last year? Which one? But yes. I lost the Creator League, and I got second in the Creator League, though. I lost to Fantasy Dude in the championship. Has to go to number 1 or 2 seed. Low-key Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs MVP? Hell no. Nah. Keon Coleman 2nd round in your Dynasty rookie mocks? Yeah. In your Dynasty rookie leagues? Yes. Yes. AJ Brown said he's in the best shape of his career. You love to hear it. Top 3 chicken wing flavors. Mango habanero's up there. Obviously, like regular hot is cool. And then I really like, I don't know if you guys have had fire wings ever. Have you ever had fire wings? I don't know if that's a Cali thing or West Coast thing, but this place called Fire Wings, they have this flavor called peanut butter. It's fire. It is crazy. It's crazy good. It's called peanut butter wings, man. Oh, salt and pepper wings are good too. Yeah. Rank Amari Cooper, Pickens, T, and Keenan in PPR. Amari, Pickens, T, and Keenan. I got Keenan number 1, Pickens number 2, T Higgins number 3, Amari Cooper number 3, T Higgins number 4. But that's at their ADP. I think the best season out of all of them, if I'm being real, probably George Pickens. Probably finishes the best. I would try to get him later on though. Would you rather have Jacobs, Pacheco, or Kenneth Walker? Give me Jacobs. Sean Payton said, Estime. How do you say that dude's last name? Austin Audric or whatever the fuck his name is. Audric Estime has to be a first or second down back. He gets goal line carries too. I got to do my homework on these Bronco backs. I was thinking Javonte was coming in here, and then they have that guy Blake Watson too. You got obviously Jaleel McLaughlin who played well last year. So I got to do a little bit more homework on these Broncos backs. I was anticipating Javonte was going to be the guy, but it seems like Sean Payton is about to take this thing a completely different direction. T. Higgins or Ridley? I got Ridley right now. I don't think T. Higgins will be that far off. Zamir White, solid RB2, 100%. Shout out to the Niner fans in the chat, baby. Diggs, Pittman, Kamara, Achane. Who are you keeping? Diggs, Pittman, Kamara, or Achane? Diggs, Pittman, Kamara, Achane. Keeper, I probably would go. I'd probably go Pitman just as a keeper. Kamara is probably my favorite player out of that. He's 28. Diggs is 31. And then Achane is probably the best player to keep out of that for the upside. But Pittman's still relatively young. If you want Achane for the upside, he's just a little bit more risky. Fantasy BDN. All right, I got you, dude. I got you. Kamara or Mixon, I like Kamara more. Cade, what's good, Brody? What's good? What's good? What's your Diggs take? I think Diggs is still a wide receiver 1. Trapped in a wide receiver 2's draft spot. I still think he's the one on the Texans. The chat getting going, man. The chat getting going. I was keeping up for a while here for the last couple of weeks, but the chat has been getting going again. So, oh man. Thoughts on Kenneth Walker this year? Yo, I'm gonna do a quick plug. If you haven't checked out my team preview videos, a lot of the players you guys are asking about, I have takes already ready and it's bookmarked. So you can go to the team you're looking at. I've probably talked about them. Check the TikTok page because I think I have a Kenneth Walker video on the TikTok page that I just posted. So make sure you do a little bit of homework on it before you ask me about a player because most of the time I've already dropped a take on it. But Kenneth Walker, I think he's an RB2. He has good potential, but he's not going to get the passing game work you want to see. Yeah, if you haven't seen my content before, like just go check the page out. I probably got your favorite player on there. Probably do. Josh Downs breakout year, I do not see that at all. Thoughts on Xavier Worthy? High upside. I think he's a year 2 guy. I think he'll be more involved in the return game early on. Who's the goal line back for Chicago? Probably Roshan Johnson. He can play that role. DeAndre Swift can play the pass catching role. And I think Khalil Herbert's odd man out. Most overhyped player this year. Most overhyped player. Probably Marvin Harrison. I just top 8. Him and Garrett Wilson. Him and Garrett Wilson are like top 7 and 8 receivers. Kind of crazy to me. But thoughts on Gus Edwards? Gus Edwards really good value too. He's hurt right now, so be careful. We got to monitor to see if he's back, but he's supposed to be back by training camp. Cade was good, bro. He said, bro's going to abuse the mock drafts again. You're going to burn out. Maybe I might, but we gonna have some fun this year, man. We're going to have some fun. Peanut butter ew. Thoughts on Josh Downs? I think he's a really good receiver in a bad spot with a quarterback who's probably going to throw somewhere like 3,500 yards. He's got 2 receivers that'll compete for catches with Pierce and A.D. Mitchell. And then obviously Pittman's the guy there. So I don't know. I think he's a good football player, but like for fantasy purposes, I'm out. I liked getting him last year, and I really liked getting him last year in my Dynasty leagues too. I really did, but I ended up trading him this offseason. Bro, what kind of start bench cut? Oh, it's my pick. What kind of start bench cut is that? We're going to go Will Levis, and we're going to grab A-Raj. 3 quarterbacks in the Superflex. I'll take it. I'll take it. Sloth, Dolphin, and Penguin, bro. What is this? I don't even know how to do this, bro. Like, what? I'll go Dolphin first. Penguins are cool. They go second. And I'm cutting Sloth. Sloths don't do shit. They're lazy as hell. Bang, bang. Niner gang was good. Andrews is Lamar's 1. You can say that. But what's really Mark Andrews' ceiling? You know what I'm saying? Pittman or Marvin Harrison? I would go Pittman, to be real. Pittman. I'm pretty sure Javonte got hurt, so McLaurin is practicing with the ones. And Esteem, how do you say Estime? I got to figure out how to say that shit. Esteem? Yeah, I thought Audric, I thought he was hurt. I gotta have Denver running back situation figured out. That might be its own video. You guys might see that video coming up there here soon. I gotta get that right. I didn't know Javonte got hurt, but I knew Estime was coming back from injury. Somebody else had mentioned that. I got to get this Broncos thing, this Broncos running back thing. I got to get that figured out. Thoughts on Neighbors? Might be a little overdrafted. Nody gang in the building. Shane was good. Thoughts on Cup? I just talked about it. I think he's solid at his wide receiver 2 value right now. You think T-Law got paid too much? Nah, because you got to pay him. And I think T-Law will be better. T-Law will be better. T-Law will be better. T-Law will be better. Who's your dark horse player this season? I've talked about a few. I got a sleeper episode coming up very soon. Episode coming up soon. The chat's pretty chill right now. At least I'm not looking forward to when it's crazy again. It's gonna start happening here in the next couple weeks. We don't have very much time, Cade, before this thing gets crazy. So get it out right now. If you got specific questions about your team, get it out now. Is Keon Coleman legit? I think he has good wide receiver 4 flex appeal. Is Mostert getting top 12 numbers again? I don't know about top 12, but like Mostert is going to be a value this year, 100% of value. What do you think about Austin Eckler in Washington? I think he has some appeal of being like RB 25 to 30 range, but who took Cam Newton, bro? Who took Cam Newton, bro? I think he has some appeal like going outside the top 25, 30 receivers, but I think his upside is really limited. So he could be a nice weapon. He's got to stay healthy. Obviously, you're going to get him out of value based on what he did last year. So I think he's a good value pick. He's not somebody I'm rushing out to get, but he could have some sneaky value in Washington. Jalen Warren better than who? Celtics in 4. Hell, I think Dallas wins tonight, but Celtics, bro. I call the Celtics winning the series. They're going to win. Did you leave Fantasy Gods? No, I am Fantasy Gods. How can I leave something I'm part of, bro? You see that right there? You see that right there? How can I leave Fantasy Gods, bro? I am Fantasy Gods. I am Fantasy Gods. It's my blood, bro. So, no, I didn't leave Fantasy Gods. I'm just running up my own shit. That's it. So, you want to call it leave, you can call it leave, but I'll always be Fantasy Gods. Always. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to the homie Dan. So, Dan's doing the content for Fantasy Gods. You may see my face on there a couple times this year, though. Texas, KC, or Memphis barbecue. Any barbecue is cool with me, bro. Any barbecue. Best fantasy football advice out there, y'all. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, big dog. If you're making a tier list, how are you arranging white milk and dark chocolate? From dark to white. Dark chocolate, then milk chocolate, then white chocolate. That's how I got it. That's how I got it. Carrillo, the original GOAT. What's good, bro? The original GOAT. Carrillo, bro. Join the Patreon so I can message you, bro. Join the Patreon. It's free. It's in my description or in my bio. Join it so I can message you because I got to get in the league with you. All right, Carrillo? So make sure you hit me up on there. Join the Patreon and then hit me up. I'll hit you up. If you join the Patreon, I'll hit you up. I think I can. But join the Patreon so I can send you a message. It's free. So I got to get in the league with you. The original GOAT. I got to get you, Cade. Cade, make sure you join it too. Cade, wherever you're watching. Some of y'all that be on the stream a lot, make sure you join the Patreon. It's free. Like, I'm not charging anything right now, but so I can message you guys and talk to you because I know, you know what I'm saying, the guys have been rocking with me. So I want to make sure we get in a league together. All right, do that. Join the Patreon. The link is in my description. Oh, and auto pick Cole Kmet for me. That's fine. What other tight end was there? Who would I have picked? Let's see if I can. I would not have picked Cole Kmet. I know that for damn sure. Who else was there? I can't even see who was there. Dalton Schultz was gone. I would have picked Luke Musgrave. That's what I picked. Luke Musgrave. Thoughts on who's going to be a Chargers wide receiver 1? I talked about that. I think Palmer's the best bet to be the one. I think it'll change throughout the year. Put it that way. But in Greg Roman's offense, there is no wide receiver 1. There's no wide receiver 1, bro. They paying T-Law as much as Hurts. T-Law is going to be a lot better. I think that whole Calvin Ridley thing, and then having Zay Jones was out at times last year, Christian Kirk was out at times last year. I think he'll be better this year. I think Roman Wilson's going to surprise people. Wouldn't be surprising. Wait, J.N., when it's popping, will you do sub-only chat for the live preview before it starts? Yes, it will be. Last year, I think I only did it some episodes. Every episode is going to be members only, probably like starting before the episode takes off. It'll be members only. So if you have a question you want to get in or anything, yes, it will be like that. It will be like that. Cam Newton going to break out this year. Come on, Z Money. Was that you? Was that you that made that pick, bro? Cam? Yo, his pod gets hot at times, man. When should you draft Marvin Harrison? I think I would draft him outside of like the top 13 to 15 receivers. That's where I would draft him, but you're not getting him if you're trying to take him there. Who you taking first overall? I like Tyreek Hill, bro. I just think he's so safe. Doesn't get hurt. I think he's a safe. Dan is the GOAT. Yes. Dan is the GOAT. Shout out to Dan. Dan is the GOAT, bro. Dan is the GOAT. All right. I'm gonna rank these teams in a second. Yeah, dark chocolate is underrated, bro. Join the Patreon. Where's the link? The link is down below. You can see it, Patreon, Justin Henry. Or you can just go into the description, or on TikTok, you can go link in my bio and sign up there. So you can find it in there. Sign up, like I said, it's free. I'm gonna at least have it free for like a month. So I'm gonna start putting a whole bunch of my shit in there. Rankings, breakout, sleepers, some other videos and shit. So that's how I'm gonna be doing some of my mock drafts. So if you want to join a mock draft, I'm probably going to post a link in there first to try to get it filled. Some leagues, I'm going to have some leagues for people in there. So like I said, if you want to get some extra value out of me right now, join the Patreon. It's free, bro. Do I remember you from last year? Of course I remember you, Ja. Of course. Dark chocolate is the healthiest options. You ranking teams? Yes. Let me get to it. How do I join the Patreon? Is it not letting you join? I just shared the link. It's in my bio, I think. If you go to the link, if you go to my bio, the link tree in my bio, you should be able to join it from there. Let me know. If you guys are having trouble joining it, let me know, and I'll try to figure out a better way. But that's where I'm going to have a lot of like my stuff this year. All right, let me rank these teams. Let me know if you have trouble figuring it out, Perillo. AK prediction this year, he'll be a top 10 running back. All right. All right, Joseph's team. CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans. This is Superflex. CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Quinn Johnson. You didn't even get a second quarterback. Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, Zeke, Javonte. I don't really like this team, just to be honest with you. You're starting running back, Aaron Jones. You took Kyle Pitts hella early. I like having Lamar Jackson, but then if you would have took a real quarterback, let's throw a quarterback in there. What, Stafford? I'll give you Stafford instead of Cam Newton. You have Stafford and Lamar Jackson. This team is okay. I don't think you make the playoffs. Rashee Rice is going to be missing some time. Quentin Johnson would need to hit. And then Nick Chubb is probably going to be missing some time too. So this is like a 7.5 to me, Joseph. 7.5. I like some of your picks, but I just don't see how this team makes the playoffs with some of the other teams that are probably going to be in here. All right, Tyreek, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Christian Watson. You got ETN, Mostert, Pollard, Zach Moss with Dak and Baker, Dallas Goedert. This is a good safe team. This is a nice safe team. This is a good safe team. You got Tyreek Hill for the upside. Diggs, if he hits, will be nice. Keenan Allen could be a good value there in the fourth. I think this is a solid 8. This is a solid 8. All right. TH22, you got McCaffrey, Ayuk, London, Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy down there, Devin Achane, Trey Benson. So you got the young guys. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, good quarterback play. And then you got two quarterbacks with Kittle and TJ Hawkinson. Got a lot of Niners on this team, so you'll be Niner heavy, but I think there's some good upside here. If Xavier Worthy hits, this could be a nice team. You got them really low this time. Give me an 8 on this team, an 8. I think there's going to be better here, though. Jaguar 21, you got Josh Allen and Justin Herbert as your quarterback. Good value there on Justin Herbert. Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Ladd McConkey. So that Bears stack, Josh Jacobs, Isaiah Pacheco, James Conner, and Jonathan Brooks. Your running backs are good. Probably limited ceiling-wise with your running backs. Decent running back play. I'll give this team like a 7.9. I'm going to answer questions here in just a second. I'm rating teams right now, man. Rating teams. Let me go up to here. Okay. Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Olave in the third. Good value there. Joe Burrow and Tua with Kenneth Walker, Najee Harris. This is a good team, Kyle. Zay Flowers, your wide receiver 4. Jackson Smith, you got some upside. Brian Robinson there to close it out. This is a good team. This is an 8.4. 8.4, Kyle. Good job. Good job. St. Brown, Mahomes, Harrison, Nico, James Cook, Trevor Lawrence, Montgomery, Ingram, Jalen Warren, Keon Coleman, Sutton. I like the quarterback play here with Mahomes and T-Law. Your running backs are kind of sketch. James Cook, Dave Montgomery, Jalen Warren. You'd have to be on the waiver wire, Mohammed, in order to get there. I think this team's like a 7.9 to me, 7.9, 7.8. Backyard All-Stars, you got Jefferson, Waddle, Neighbors, Tank Dell, Brian Thomas. You got the rookies there with Rashad White. Eckler's your number 2, and you only got Caleb Williams. Where's the rest of your team at? You got all rookies. This ain't Dynasty, homie. You got Neighbors, Caleb, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas. You're going to need your rookies to hit. Otherwise, this team is not going to be good. 7.6. Brian Robinson, Derrick Henry, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, Jacoby Myers, Kyler Murray, Kirk. This is a good team. Probably make the playoffs. This to me looks like an 8.1. 8.1. Post Mahomes, we got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You got DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown with Stroud. Oh, there's Stafford. So you didn't have Stafford even on that team. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You stack the Eagles receivers with Kyron, Mixon, Blake Corum. You got a handcuff there. Sheila Hubbard. This is like an 8 to me. Not a strong 8 either. Not a strong 8. And then Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, good quarterback play there. Cooper Kupp, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Godwin. I like that setup. Alvin Kamara, Gus Edwards, DeAndre Swift with Dalton Schultz. This is a good team. You got some upside late with Williams. It's probably 8.3, 8.4. Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Anthony Richardson, Kelsey with Ridley, Kirk, and Reed, Curtis Samuel, Cook. You got some good value guys here. Jaden Daniels and Jerome Ford. You actually got some really good values here, AK. It's an 8.2. You got some good values that I wasn't expecting you to get, but Calvin Ridley is your 1, Kirk is your 2. 8.2. Receiver play would have to be elite in order for that team to make the playoffs, or if A-Rich and Jaden Daniels hit. Then my team is solid. I think Taylor, Barkley, Debo, Pitman, Amari Cooper, Jordan Addison. I could have did better at receiver. And then I grabbed a third quarterback, which I probably didn't need to do, but I'll give my team like an 8.2, 8.3. Y'all feel like the rankings were fair or no? Y'all feel like the rankings were fair or not?